First of all, that's a fantastic football team. Coach Dorn is an outstanding coach. I remember him from his championship days in the MAC conference, and his staff is one of the better staffs in the ACC. There's no doubt about it. And that contest was a contest played all the way to the end. It was a fabulous win. I'm so excited for the seniors. You know, to be able to play college football at the highest level is such a gift given. And for them not to have an opportunity to ever have a winning season, it was so sad. It hurt me, physically hurt me. And to have an opportunity to be able to let them experience that is something I'll always cherish and something I'll always be proud of. Now, it's not over, and we look at our season in two halves, and in the second half of our season, we're 2-0. So we still have goals that are out there, the goals that need to be met. We're not satisfied, and we will not settle. But I'm really happy for those young men in the locker room right now, and they're celebrating accordingly. And I expect them to have fun and moderation and be ready for work Sunday at 3 o'clock. Questions?
We'll start on your right, Coach, with Dan.
Coach, obviously this is something that takes time. It's not just this season. It's when you first came in, going through 4 and 8 back-to-back, getting to where you are now. You said there's unfinished business, obviously, but just what you can say about staying the course and seeing where this team is at this point from where you started.
This is all culture. I mean, it starts with academically making sure that they do the things they need to do in the classroom and they get the necessary things that they need to be successful. And our administration does a fabulous job with the tutors and Tommy Powell and John Walhack in giving these young men the things they need to be successful academically. After that, the strength and conditioning program, to be able to play that many plays at that level, at that speed, the job that Sean Edinger and his group does is amazing. Now, I will tell you, I did have words with him because we had 2 guys go out with hamstrings, and that's a no-no in our program. But that just tells me that they were underhydrated, which means we need to do a better job with hydration. And then to see that senior class lead, you know, how about Eric Dungy being challenged all week? And, you know, he's like Seabiscuit. You know, you don't have to whip him. You just got to show him the whip. You guys got to watch the movie if you know what that means. You don't hit him, just show him the whip and watch him go. And just an amazing, amazing game. But I will tell you this, the whole week of practice, the practice week with DeVito and Dungy was amazing. I've never seen 2 archers perform at such a high level the entire week with their competition. It was really, really something. The offense this week was absolutely smoking in practice. If it was a racing car, the tires were seen going around the curve. There was noises being made, and people were pushing the envelope. And they did that. They did it that way in practice, and they did it that way in the game.
Pat, then Nico.
Dino over here. Right here. With that performance like you just characterized for Eric, what did you say to him after this game where he was benched last game in favor of talking about comes back in this game like this?
I said, I need to make you mad more. He did a great job. I mean, what we said is in-house, but, you know, I love Eric. I love all my guys. But I'm just really proud of the way he competed, and I heard he broke some more records. And, you know, I told you, that guy's a warrior. You better, if you're not gonna play him, you better be sure. He is something, and when he's playing like that, there's nobody better.
Nico in the back.
Coach, back here. Often when we've talked to you, you mentioned you like the small cities or big towns, and obviously this town kind of lives and dies with this football team, especially this time of the year. To be able, I know it's still sinking in, but to be able to deliver that bowl game to this town and hasn't seen it in 5 years, what does that mean to you?
You know, it means a lot. I can still think back to the basketball game where I had to come out and speak to the community the very first time. And if you're going to speak to our community, the basketball game is where you need to be heard at. And I absolutely drew a blank. I had no clue what I was going to say. And I was on the phone with a person that was like, you'll do fine, you'll do fine. And I'm like, you don't understand. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. And when I got out there, I just said those 3 words, we will win. And once it's out there, you can't take it back. But I've always, and this team, we've always been that way. And everything that we do, every decision that we make, it's about winning. But it's about winning the right way. We don't want to win the wrong way. There's people out there that win the wrong way, and we're not going to do that. You know, winning the right way is the key, and I'm just really proud of where those young men are at, and hopefully we can continue the second part of our season doing things the right way.
Dino. No. Dino, big night for Sean and Akeem tonight. What have you kind of seen for them growth-wise throughout the season? I feel like it's kind of been a steady rise for the receiving corps as a whole.
Well, Sean and Akeem, the 2 giants, the 2 Jolly Green Giants, you know, if they grew another inch or 2, I'd really be excited. I don't think that's going to happen. But they're, you know, those guys, they have huge hearts. They really do. And they don't see themselves as small guys. They see themselves as people who has an advantage because everybody else is so big. And they play that way. And, I mean, I saw Akeem take a shot, and I was like, whoa. And then I saw Sean Riley get hit a couple of times, one time on the kickoff. And I'm like, ouch. Bounce back up like the Energizer Bunny, and boom, they're still out there, and they're still playing. Can't say enough about them. Really excited about their development, and really happy that they still have a lot of years left with us.
Hey, Dino, I want to go back to the quarterbacks right quick. How close did you come to starting DeVito this week, and what does this mean going forward? I would assume Eric did enough, but does the competition remain open on a week-to-week basis?
You know, we're not, I don't see it that way. You know, I did that, I opened that can, okay, because that can needed to be open. Because you're not allowed to, you know, if you have a racing car, you can't drive it like you're driving Miss Daisy, okay? We don't need a chauffeur. We need a racing car driver. And you need to, last time I checked, that when you go into a turn as a racing car driver, you don't decelerate, you accelerate. And we need guys that are going to be playing it on the edge. That's what we do. That's how it looks right. Did it look right to you? It needs to look right. So we're going to drive it. We're going to drive it that way. And if we go off the side and we crash, we crash. That's what the helmets are for. But we're going to drive it hot, and we're going to drive it fast, and we're going to drive it on the edge. And that's the way it needs to look forevermore, just like that.
Dino, from the day you were introduced, you said year 2, week 4 to 7 about the offense. Curious, now in year 3, you've scored 50 points 4 times. Where would you evaluate where this offense is as compared to your expectations when you came in?
I would say it's about right there. You know, we need to do some other things. We're not as balanced as we should be. I think that will come to us down the road. But the type of yardage we're putting up, the type of numbers that we're putting up, and now listen to this part. This is really the important part to me. The turnovers, the minimum turnovers to be able to, you can't be yawning in a press conference. You're not allowed to yawn in a press conference. My God, okay? So I lost my train of thought. I can't believe you just did that. What was the question? I can't believe that. Okay, I'm boring.
Where the offense is now as compared to the expectations when you came in? You were saying the turnover rate.
Being able to play a game like that and not turn the ball over, how cool is that? How cool is that? And to give kudos out, when you look at the other offense, how well the other offense played, and their turnover came at, what, 2 minutes left in the game, 1:40 left in the game? You saw, that's why I used the analogy archers. You saw 2 archers out there hitting bullseyes. I mean, that's a heck of a game. That quarterback is a heck of a quarterback, and guess what? We got a heck of a quarterback too.
Coach, congratulations on the win. You mentioned the defense. It almost seemed as if in the first quarter specifically that the defense fed off of the offense and how well it was doing. And the second half, even though the offense carried its momentum, NC State's offense carried its momentum, and there was a little bit more of a struggle in that second half. Did that turnover, even though it came at the very end of the game, was that what was necessary? Was that what was needed? And what did you really need to have the defense do during that second half in NC State?
Well, I think you nailed it. The turnover is what we needed. We needed one turnover to win that game. The crazy thing about it, I don't want to bring up bad memories, but in the Clemson game in the second half, I said, if we don't turn the ball over, we're going to win this game. And we had a turnover. And the players hate it when I say stuff like that. I'm like, I've been in too many games. I know. You guys, I've been around. I know. And for our defense to get that turnover was the difference. I know that somebody or people in the house get upset when I defer the kickoff. Well, we defer the kickoff because we want the ball in the second half this year, and we want extra possessions in the second half. And if we're lucky enough to have a lead coming out at halftime, to go back out there and put another one on the board can change the style of play by the other offense and make them chase us. And we love when people are trying to chase us. So it's a little bit of a different philosophy. We will do both based off of what we have. But when we're ahead by 14 and they knock it down to 7, and we go ahead by 14 and they knock it down to 7. I mean, I was upset that we got 3 and 10 and we didn't get 14. That was driving me crazy. And I knew that right there, the touchdown would hurt, but if we could hold them to a field goal, we'd be back in business. And they did a fantastic job getting that turnover. It only took one the way we were playing, and they got it. And it's a great, great team win.
Last 2 questions, Steven.
Kind of on that defensive drive, getting the 3 and out there, I think it was your first 3 and out since the first quarter, or maybe the botch punt. But what did you see from that group overall? And for Antoine Carter to respond in those first 2 plays from what he's been through this year and those 2 years, what was your perspective on that?
Once again, you know, Cordy makes a big play with his vertical jump. That's the stuff that I've been seeing, you know, every fall, every 2-a-days, that everybody else hasn't had the opportunity to experience that. And then I want to say, I can't remember who got the pick. Was it Ryan? Was it Army? And we call him Army. So Armstrong, he's got some of the best hands out of anybody on our football team. He can flat catch the football. If the defense doesn't use him, I'm taking him to tight end. He can catch the football. So when I knew it was going to him, I said, he doesn't drop stuff. You know, you just don't see that happening. So it was exciting to see the turnover, and I'm excited about the defense, and it's a fantastic team win.
Final question in the middle, back row.
Hi, Dino. So today, obviously, a lot of it came from, a lot of the things that came into the win today was the motivation in the fourth quarter to keep the lead. Losing the game in the fourth quarter has been something that's plagued the team a little bit the last couple of seasons. How do you think that it played out today? How do you think the team was able to push through in that fourth?
It's been plaguing the team the last couple of seasons. We've lost, as a coaching staff, we've lost 3 games in the fourth quarter in 7 years when we've had the lead. In the last 2 years here, we've lost 3 games in the fourth quarter. When we put 4 quarters up, it's for a reason, that we feel like conditioning-wise, okay, that when we go to the fourth quarter with a lead, that the offense should be able to match or the defense should be able to get a stop. Now, it didn't happen one time last year, and it hasn't happened 2 times this year. I get it. But I want to go into every game in the fourth quarter with a lead, and if we can do that, I think the overall results will be something that everybody will be really, really happy with. It's something we take a lot of pride in. It's something that upsets us when it doesn't work out, but it's something that we always strive for.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. I should have drank this water.